and welcome back to my channel. My name's Tara. I air all my business on social media to help me and to help you. Today's video, I'm not really gonna do like a vlog or anything. I'm gonna try experimenting with different styles of video, plus the vlogging kind of got overwhelming right now with my time of life, and it's been about 2 weeks since I posted, and I try to post at least one video a week. But I have been going through a move back home, a breakup, a new job, just a lot of new things. And if you know anything about borderline personality disorder, you will know change. No, thank you. No, thank you. So I've been doing what I can to keep my mental health a priority, and that's exactly what I've been doing. And I don't really want to be vlogging myself having these sad days when I just moved back home. I just don't really want to do that to you. But I'm gonna get along here before I talk too long. I really wanted to talk today about like the frequently asked questions about borderline personality disorder. If you do or don't know, I do TikTok and I always talk about the traits and everything, and I get lots of questions on there. So I kind of just wanted to answer the questions I get the most on here, and also kind of wrap in a little more about me and how it affects my life. I even took notes. So first, what is borderline personality disorder? So borderline personality disorder is defined by unstable moods, behaviors, and relationships. So I go through like, I'll call it like different phases. I don't know. I used to like think switching from identity to identity was like me going through different phases of life. Now I know I'm mentally ill. So there's that. I have been going from like having a really good day to having days where I dissociate a lot or don't really get much done. I have been struggling a lot with burnout lately. I'm sorry about the bird. It's my dad's bird, and I moved home and there's nothing I can do about this bird, and it's driving me nuts. I'm like dealing with a lot of like up downs, but burnout is probably like the one I've been dealing with the most, and I think it's because I'm like masking a lot of my problems with doing a lot of stuff. So then the one day it's just like, hey, you can't run away from things all the time, so I'm gonna make you sit down sleeping. You're not gonna do anything, and you're gonna feel bad because you haven't felt bad, and let it come in waves. I don't really want to rant too much about that. Another question that I get a lot is what is favorite person and what it really means, because I feel like in our day-to-day life, like people will be like, oh yeah, that's my favorite person. But a lot of people don't know that is actually like a clinical term used for borderline personality disorder to like kind of differentiate between like obsessions and like crushes or just being friends with someone, if that makes sense. Everything in your life will revolve around this one person. I've explained this before, like, okay, like say if I know I'm gonna go hang out with this person later and I need to eat something, I won't eat all day just in case, because I'm like, well, I don't want to not be hungry and then be hungry and then be uncomfortable. But then like they might not be hungry when I get there, and then I'm uncomfortable because I'm hungry, and like you get all moody and all gross and nasty towards them, and you don't mean to. It affected your day because you revolved it around that favorite person, and it honestly affects your life with that favorite person. And I feel like that's the easiest way for me to explain it, like the hunger thing, because like you get hungry, you get hangry, you take it out on them, and then it affects your relationship with them. There's obviously a lot more to favorite person. I just kind of wanted to explain it in a little more of a relatable way, because favorite person is extremely damaging to people, and I don't think people really recognize how bad it is. And telling people I have a favorite person and they're just like, oh my god, I'm your favorite person, like, okay, yes, like I guess like I hyped your head up and I get it, like that's exciting, like, but at the same time, like you don't understand how hard that is for the person who has the favorite person. It's extremely damaging. Another thing that comes with favorite person, I feel like these two kind of go hand in hand, is mirroring. And this is something I also do not mean to do. I don't mean to pick up on these traits, and I don't mean to only like the things that person I'm mirroring at the time likes. I don't want to make somebody else uncomfortable. So I will either dull my light, agree with the person if I don't really necessarily agree, and be like, okay, like, yeah, I like that too, or I believe in that too, blah, 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 because I'm like, I don't want to make them uncomfortable, so I put myself in a situation to be uncomfortable. Mirroring also interferes with your own likes, hobbies, and when I start to mirror people, things start to go out the door for me. So like in the past, I would like pick up like, I don't know, like random hobbies, like art or something. I meet a new favorite person, they were into like skateboarding. All of a sudden that month, I'm freaking an Olympic skateboarder now. I'm for some reason an Olympic skateboarder. And I actually do become good at these things, but like I'm also forgetting like this is not my passion, because when, you know, life goes on, people usually come in and out of your life. When I'm on to the next person, I'm gonna go into another like identity crisis and be like, oh my God, like I don't even think I like skateboarding. But you like this, so I think I like that too. It's like extremely hard on like your self-esteem. It has like a really big effect on your self-esteem. And because it has such a big impact on your self-esteem, I kind of just mentioned it like a few seconds ago about the identity thing. It's actually called identity disturbance. So that means like you totally lost your sense of self. So it's not really like you switch identities. It's like you lost your own identity. Imagine you have your personality, you know who you are, and then all of a sudden gone. Like you're just like, what would you do if you didn't have your job or you didn't do this? Like my brain sometimes runs on that, if that makes sense. I'm like, well, does this really matter? Like I could just pick this up and drop this off. Like I've done it a million times. It's not a good time. It's going through identity disturbance comes co-occurring mental illnesses. I get questioned a lot about this too. Like, do I struggle with any other illnesses with borderline personality disorder? So yes, a lot of them. Before I was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, I was diagnosed with major depressive disorder, anxiety, anorexia nervosa, bulimia nervosa. Yeah, all of it. But I've kind of known for a long time that I had borderline personality disorder just because I have it running in my family history. Actually, I was told when I was 16 after one of my crazy reactions that by a family member, like, hey, I've never seen someone react like me, and like, I don't know, like, it's kind of cool that I'm not alone, but at the same time be aware that I have borderline personality disorder. You might have it, and I do think a lot of us in the family do have it. Just really no one in my family has ever gotten diagnosed. Mental health has been a really big thing in my family, so it really didn't come to a surprise to me that I was dealing with all these things. But at the same time, like when I first heard that, I went in a spiral like, what the is that? So I do have like a lot of co-occurring mental illnesses with this, because I obviously still struggle with all those things beforehand that I do now that I'm diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. I still get depressive episodes. I still have pretty bad anxiety, but I think I do a lot better job at managing those things. Also, my eating disorder, I am in a lot better place than I was. I won't say that I'm completely recovered. I really don't think I'll ever be completely recovered. I mean, yes and no, but I think it's something I will have to be aware of for a very long time, if not the rest of my life, which is, it's like, I used to think it was like the worst thing in the world, but now it's just like one of those things, just another reminder that I need to keep taking care of myself and do the things that I know that I love in order to keep myself healthy. So I try not to really put a bad narrative on those things anymore. It's just one of those things like, okay, what can I do to make myself feel good? I don't know if that will help, but yeah. No, I was just spouting a lot of information off at you about all these things, and they weren't really questions, but these were like answers all in one sentence. But yeah, anyway. Spirituality also really helps me a lot, only because it's like a really physical thing. Like I like to do tarot cards, I like to hold crystals with me, and like honestly the crystals help when I get anxious too. Like I fidget with them and it like really helps. That's another thing, and it has like all the good energies in there, so like I don't know, I like it. Like it's my little fidget toy. And I also like to journal a lot, because something I did not know is I don't know how to identify what feelings I'm feeling. So like if I'm feeling sad or something, sometimes I won't say that I'm feeling sad. I'll just be like, well, this happened, and this happened, and I just like, I can't deal with it. And my therapist even told me, was like, can you identify what that emotion is? They're like, no, it just hurts, bro. Like it just hurts. So journaling helps me identify and piece together emotions, and also like when I'm like spiraling, like writing it down sometimes makes me look at it and be like, that is a stupid thought. Like that was dumb that I would say to myself. I also like to practice like not saying mean stuff to myself, because half the things that I say to myself I would never say out loud to another person. So first of all, why am I saying it to myself? That's so mean. That's so mean. And honestly, I feel like majority of people, whether you struggle with mental illness or not, deal with this like they kind of put negative affirming things in their brain and they say it out loud to themselves and to their friends and all this stuff. That's something I try to practice stop doing, like calling myself names, because it does create brain wiring to wire yourself to think that way about yourself. So I try to, even if I don't feel like it, I fake it till I make it. Okay, I didn't believe faking it till I make it until I did, because that really is one of the biggest things at work. In order to believe something, you might have to act something for a while. And that is fine. It might not feel authentic at first, but as long as you put these practices into order, they should really, really, really help. I know this video was like a lot of rambling, a lot of talking. I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about borderline personality disorder, how it has affected me, just because I've never really went into detail. I've just kind of been doing vlogs about it. And yeah, and I don't think a lot of people on YouTube know me that well. And if you don't and you want to follow me on other platforms, which I post way more often, you can follow my TikTok. I'll put it right here. That's my TikTok. And then you can also follow me on my Instagram. I'll put my Instagram right here. I'll also link them in the bio below. And also any video recommendations you have about BPD, leave them in the comments below. Know what you don't know, what you want to know, or what you're curious about, just because like I'm a very self-aware person. I have been since I've been young. So like it's just one of those things I've researched and researched and researched that sometimes I feel like I miss certain parts that like are kind of like embedded in me that some people might not know. Some people like want to see what I do in a day because how I handle my BPD, and then some people just want to see, you know, the beauty stuff. Like I don't know, just like leave it in the comments below what you want to see from me, what you liked about this video, what you haven't liked about my content in the past before. I won't get too butthurt. I might cry a little bit, don't be too mean. But yeah, so I just kind of wanted to come on here, tell you guys that you aren't alone, and yeah, and that I do miss you guys a lot. Need to take the time for myself, figure out my next steps in life, and yeah, so I hope you guys understand. All you gotta do is 1% better. Nobody's asking you to do everything and become a superstar tomorrow. All they're asking you is to do 1% better, and if you're doing 1% better, you're doing better, so nobody can complain, okay? Just do 1%. Anyway, hope you guys like this video, and I hope to see you guys again. I love you guys. Have a great rest of your day.